I got you. Let it rap real quick. Look. The city eyes, it's time to vote God. My God, a real nigga, cause he wasn't no flaw. Posted on the corner like a watchdog. Family secure, got that shotty in the closet by the mob ball. Fuck what they heard, but tell them it's all true. Be cautious, that foundation falls till you fall through. They gon' fall. Look, I keep this shit 50 times soon. Ain't no more heart in this game, I'm John Q. We colder than the avalanche, way above average. Beers taste sweet, told him make me an apple tree. Left us in the valley full of bones, this where hope found. Java, come on, man, dark sands get broke down. Ride through Evanston with Mark Quad, telling me how the crackers turn his childhood to a ghost town. Focus out, nigga, I lay that game down. I feel his pain, cause nothing is the same now. Let my light shine like heaven through a rain cloud. Glock have a fit like my child, no tangent. Try to warn them niggas we bear arms like tarantulas. Them other niggas rap, I make anthems. I really see profits under this banner. Made my enemies bow down on camera. Told my design I wanted black and white like a panda. I'm better than that nigga that's some dirty to handle. Look, I move like a Brazilian, precious cargo, spirit ancient, but I got a new semi-auto. Wave that bitch around like where's Wardo. Sleep if they want, I cut through they Z's like I'm Zorro. Pay me for his name, so I gotta keep that steel clutch. Trust me, I'm not what you think. I squeeze till it click like Dorothy when the heels touch. The world got me dumb, I don't feel much. Ride around with Yaradar, just left the state bridge. Looking for a bitch better than Baby's kid. Remember I dropped Quiet Storm, I've been gone ever since. Still in the field, fuck them niggas on the fence,
Hey, Shalom Israel. Yabashim Yahshai, Barak Thumb to the brothers. Yahshim Allah Thumb Bashim Yahshai to the sisters. I'm Police Officer Parag holding down the Wednesday law class for the ISUPK coming out of Arizona. All right. If you're watching online, you can see at the very bottom of the screen, I'm going to put down the class location, 12416 North 28th Drive, Phoenix, Arizona, 85029. We're in suite number 4. All right. We're at the corner of 28th Drive and Cactus. All right. And we got classes every Tuesday through Friday from 7 to 9 p.m. And every Saturday we hold our Sabbath service at 11 a.m. Give me 1 second, y'all. So lock in. Give me 1 second. All right, Salaki, y'all. Salaki. All right. Once again, we got classes every Tuesday through Friday at 7 p.m. and every Saturday our Sabbath service we hold at 11 a.m. If you're watching online, you can see class title today is How Long Wilt Thou Sleep, O Sluggard? And we're going to be talking about the spirit of laziness. All right, this comes from Proverbs, the 20th chapter, the 4th verse. However, that quote itself comes from Proverbs, the 20th chapter, the 6th chapter. All right, and so we're going to be talking about it a little bit today, right? And just the spirit of laziness. It's a lot of different things that laziness affects. All right, it can affect your relationship with your spouse. It can affect your monetary situation, right? It can affect your situation at home. It can affect your work in the truth. it can affect a lot of things, right? Laziness is a plague that plagues our people. A lot of Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans have a problem with laziness. If not in one area, maybe in a couple, maybe in another. But we're going to talk about it a little bit today. And I'll put these scriptures up on the screen. Today, what we're going to do, we're going to try to fight that. We're going to try to fight that spirit of laziness with the Bible. We're going to try to fight the spirit of laziness with the Bible. The Bible is anti-lazy, all right? The Bible does not condone laziness. I want y'all to understand that. That's extremely important, all right? You want to serve the Most High? Well, understand that the Most High detests a lazy man or a lazy woman. He don't like that. And wisdom, we're going to read a lot of wisdom from Solomon, right? The Bible says is one of the wisest men that ever lived. We're going to read a lot of wisdom that shows us that laziness is something that can affect everything around you. It can destroy your life, just being lazy. We're going to read this. We're going to start off in Proverbs, the 20th chapter. I'm going to pull it up for y'all so that way you can see it on the screen. All right, we'll pull it up so we can see it on the screen. All right. This ain't what I want. So I want Proverbs, the 4th chapter. Forgive me, y'all. Forgive me. We're in Proverbs a whole lot today, so but we are going to start off at Proverbs, the 6th chapter. Forgive me. Proverbs, the 6th chapter. If anybody has read through the book of Proverbs, or maybe you've heard it said, consider the ant, right? Consider the ant. One thing about ants, this is something that the Lord, he'll show these similitudes in many different ways. He'll use anything to teach you. He'll use an ant to teach you. Remember, he made a donkey talk to teach a point. All right. The Bible says that the Most High could have made Israel out of stones. The Most High will make a point out of anything. All right. And what we're about to read is the Most High making a point out of ants. All right. Let me pull this up on the screen so y'all can see it. Let me pull it up full screen. All right, we're going to be Proverbs, the 6th chapter, and we're going to start off at verse 6. All right, this is where we're going to start off. Proverbs 6 and 6. It says, "Go to the ant, thou sluggard, consider her ways, and be wise." Now, before we keep reading here, let's understand what a sluggard is. There's a difference between a sluggard and an ant. All right. Let's understand what a sluggard is. All right. I'm going to pull that up on the screen. Before we keep reading there, actually, I want to pull that up. That's Proverbs, the 20th chapter. All right. The 4th verse. I'm going to show you something about a sluggard. And this is going to help everybody to understand what I was just talking about, the different things that laziness can affect in your life. All right, let me pull it up on the screen. Proverbs 20 and 4, it says, "The sluggard will not plow by reason of the cold. Therefore shall he beg in harvest and have nothing." Let's read that again. This is a heavy scripture, right? This is wisdom. It say, "The sluggard will not plow by reason of the cold." What do that mean? So a sluggard is somebody that's lazy. We've established that, right? But this is somebody who, because it's cold out, he don't want to go and plow his field. You know anything about having a field where you have a farm, and let's just say you got crops, right? You want to plow your field until your field when it's cold out to prepare for your harvest. And that harvest comes when it's not cold out, when it gets warm. Well, a sluggard is going to, he says he's not going to plow by reason of the cold. He's going to say it's too cold outside. So I'm not going to go out and I'm not going to plow my field. But then if we read on, it says, "Therefore shall he beg in harvest and have nothing." See, because, and this is, a lot of people don't understand how their laziness affects them until it hits them and it actually affects them. He didn't want to go out and plow because it was too cold out, not thinking about the fact that when it gets warm out and it's time to reap his harvest, he's going to beg in harvest because he's not going to have nothing. What is this? Something that we can relate to our lives today. If you don't wake your ass up in the morning because you're sleepy and you don't go to work, then when it's time for that paycheck to come, you're gonna be pissed off because you got $100 on your paycheck. You ain't been to work. You understand? Well, that's what the Lord put this in here for, to make you to try to make your thick head understand that you gotta work. You have to. The scriptures say in the book of Genesis, one of the curses that fell upon Adam because of the way he disobeyed the Most High is that by the sweat of thy brow thou would earn bread. You're going to have to work to survive. That's just what it is. You understand? That's part of the law. The law say you got to work 6 days and you rest for 1. That's part of the law. So you got to work because you have to earn your keep. You have to. Well, if you think it's too cold outside to go and plow, so you ain't going to go out there. You're just going to let your harvest rot. Well, guess what? When it come time with everybody around you, when they did what they were supposed to do, they reaping their harvest. It's time for them to go pick them greens. Time for them to go pick that squash. You understand? Well, you're not going to be doing none of that. You're going to be begging them for something. And be like, hey, can I? Because you didn't do your job. That's what you're going to do. You didn't go to work in the morning. So guess what you're going to do? When it come time for you to get your paycheck, you're going to be pissed off about how little money you made because you didn't take yourself to work. And you're going to be begging your mama. You're going to be begging your friends. You're going to be begging everybody around you to get a little piece of change because you can't eat. I need some gas money, this, that, and the third. Well, if you'd have took yourself to work, you wouldn't have been asking nobody. And that's why the scripture, let's read that again, right? Let's read that again, right? It say, the sluggard will not plow by reason of the cold, therefore shall he beg and harvest and have nothing. That's counsel. You understand? That's counsel. All right. Trooper Nathab Alam says, in all labor there is profit, but the talk of the lips tendeth only to penury. That's Proverbs 14:23. That's a heavy precept. That's an absolute heavy precept, right? The scriptures say you're going to reap what you sow. So if you ain't reap nothing, you ain't go. If you ain't sow nothing, you're not going to reap nothing. You understand? A fool could understand that. But absolutely, in all labor, there is profit. Put some work in. You're going to see results. All right. Let's go back to Proverbs 20. Now, remember, it said, back to Proverbs 6, Sluggard. It said that we should consider the ant. All right. Consider the ant and consider her ways and be wise. Let's understand why we should consider the ant. What's so special about this ant? Verse 7 says, Proverbs 6 and 7, it says, which having no guide, overseer, or ruler, provideth her meat in the summer, gathereth her food in the harvest. You understand? They don't need nobody to tell them they got to work. You know what tells an ant that he got to work? Nature. They belly. They know that in order for them to have what they need, they get up and go do it. Don't nobody tell these ants. They just get together and they do what they got to do. And they will do what they got to do to get what they want. Them ants, you get you a group of ants together, they'll pick a whole goddamn apple up. They can carry, I think, 1,000 times their weight. Why? Because they're willing to do it. Because they know they need this to live. And so we should consider that same way. Now, once again, we just applied this to our job. Our daily lives and our jobs, right? But once again, we can apply this to anything that you might be lazy in. If you lazy with your relationship, you don't put no work into your relationship with your spouse, whether you be a sister or a brother, married to a husband or a wife. If you don't put no work in, that relationship is going to fail. It's going to fail because you can't just expect your relationship to thrive and you ain't putting no work in. Just like you can't expect your pockets to be full and you're not putting no work in. Everything takes work. That's why what this brother just put in the chat is so heavy, because in all labor there is profit. You got to put labor in everything, and there's going to be profit in it. If you put work into a relationship, it's going to benefit you. It's going to benefit that relationship. If you put work into your job and whatever it is that you do to make money, the harder you put your hand to it, you'll make some money, man. Same thing with this truth. That's another thing that a brother could be lazy in. It's possible. You understand? And we check it as soon as we see it, right? But if you lazy with your work in this truth, you won't profit. You won't see no fruit. You understand? You won't see no fruit. Your cities won't grow. Nobody be coming to class. Nobody will be watching you online. Nobody will care about what you're talking about because you're not putting in any work. You understand? And that's important. Commander General Yohana put in work, and he built this nation from the ground up. You understand? All his brothers that he was building with before left him. Brothers that taught him left him, and the nation disbanded. Right? The nation disbanded. Everybody went on to do their own thing, whether they went back to be in the world or they wanted to try to start some new group that was an offshoot, and those all failed. Commander General Yohana had to build this thing from the ground up. And if he would have been a sluggard, he would have never seen any results. The scriptures say that you will know a tree by the fruit that it bears. Well, Commander General Yohana bear fruit because look at the brothers that we have in here, the different cities and the different states that we in, the different countries that we in, all because that man put in that work. But if he wouldn't have put no work in, if he wouldn't have sacrificed, this truth would be nothing. There'll be nothing. Nobody to hold on to it. Nobody to convince the Most High to send his son Yahushua back down here to deliver us. See, without brothers putting in work, this truth can fall. The Lord tells us that, right? All throughout the scriptures. We'll just continue in this captivity and be in these same conditions. You understand? So it's important for us to realize these things because in all aspects of our lives, we have to understand that putting that work in, not being a sluggard, not being lazy, realizing you got to get up on your feet, move and work. If we can understand that, we can build a kingdom. But let's, I want to read something, right? Let me get 2 Thessalonians. We're going to go into 2 Thessalonians. All right. The 3rd chapter. We're going to go into 2 Thessalonians, the 3rd chapter. I want to show y'all something because we have to understand that work is what pushes everything. That's what, nothing gets built up without work. The trees have to work to grow. You understand? Everything that exists could not exist without work, without performance, right? Brother said, I've been in 4 different camps, and I can definitely see this is the home of the truth. My name is Nathab Ilam. It means found the truth, most high in Christ. Damn right. And once again, you'll know a tree by the fruit that it bear. You understand? But let's read this, right? Because Paul talks about this. Paul talks about work. Paul wasn't, hey, listen, when we talk about brothers putting in work, we talk about, especially in his Bible, right, that we can go back and read these records. Paul was a hell of a brother. I mean, spent his life, he didn't even get no women. Can you imagine that? He spent so much of his time focused on his truth that he said, I'm not even going to pursue a relationship with a woman. I want to focus on pleasing the Most High God and building this nation and making brothers and sisters to know that Jesus Christ, Yahushua Mashiach, is the Savior that the Bible prophesied. He spent his entire life doing that, died doing that, was persecuted, went to prison doing that, and never gave up and continued pushing the work. And Barakatah Yahushua for that, because guess what? He makes up a majority of the New Testament, his letters. And his letters give us plenty wisdom to understand Christ and to understand how to deal with each other, understand how to run this thing. And so, but that of course comes from the amount of work that he was willing to put in. He sacrificed everything. You know, you got to understand that. Let's read it though. Hold on, let me pull it up. 2 Thessalonians, the 3rd chapter. Now we're gonna go down. Down to the 10th verse. All right, 2 Thessalonians chapter 3 and verse 10, it says, for even when we were with you, this we commanded you, that if any would not work, neither should he eat. For we hear that there are some which walk among you disorderly, working not at all, but are busybodies. Now them that are such, we command and exhort by our Lord Yahushua Mashiach, that with quietness they work and eat their own bread. Now I want you, Now I want y'all to understand this. I want y'all to understand what Paul is talking about. Remember, these are letters to churches. The book of Thessalonians, 1st and 2nd Thessalonians, is a book to the church in a province called Thessalonica that there was a church at, okay? And at this church, this specific body of brothers and sisters, all right, that Paul was establishing, okay, he said when we was with him and the last time we was there, we told y'all this. We said, if any of y'all ain't going to work, then you're not going to eat. Because that's, of course, what we read in the Bible. Paul was a man that understood the Bible. Long before he understood Christ, he understood the laws and the statutes and all throughout the book of Proverbs, which we was just reading. He understands the wisdom and what it takes to be a man. Well, he said, we hear that there are some which walk among you disorderly, working not at all, but they're busybodies. They ain't putting no work in. What good are they? What good is somebody that's not putting no work? And this is something that we find all in just in Black America. I mean, anybody really, but really, when we talking about Israel, right? Or so-called Black America, right? We all hate a leech. You understand? We hate a leech, always asking for some money. What we was just watching Friday the other day, right? And the sister, she had said, what she say? Let me borrow a joint. That's what she said. She was asking Smokey for a joint. She said, let me borrow a joint. He said, you need to borrow a job. Because don't nobody like no goddamn leech, man. Go buy your own stuff. Get out my hair. You need to go work and stop bothering me. You understand? None of us like a leech. You understand? None of us like a leech. Now, there can be a leech in the truth. There could be somebody that's only holding brothers and sisters back because they don't want to do no work. They lazy. You might as well just sit on the sidelines. And we find that quickly. We seek out to destroy that spirit. If you listen, if you want to be in the ISUPK, you got to do work. You have to. You understand? If you want to be in the ISUPK and serve the Most High, then there's work you got to do. That's part of what serving is. It's a service. You understand? And if you don't want to do that, then go do something else. We'll just label you inactive, and you'll just be on the sidelines, maybe watch class every now and then. You'll just be labeled inactive. We'll bust your rank because you don't want to put any work in. It takes work for these things. And Paul understood that. You don't think Paul, all of these different letters that Paul was writing, he's writing to separate churches. He established the church at Rome. He established the church at Ephesus, at Thessalonica, the church of Galatia. He established all of those different churches because he was about that work. And he converted brothers and sisters to serve Christ. And so he knows what the hell he's talking about. And he's saying, if you don't work, you don't live. Well, guess what? That's what it is. That's true. Nobody gets no handouts. I wish life could be that easy, but it ain't. And some of us have to learn that the hard way. But for most of us, we understand that because we understand our pockets is empty if we don't put any work in. We understand that our relationships fail if we don't put any work in. We understand that our lives fall apart if we just lay around all day. That's what a sluggard is. But let's get back to it, right? Let's go to Proverbs, the 13th chapter. Let's go to Proverbs, the 13th chapter. All right. 13th chapter. I want to read this real quick. We're going to read this highlighted part here. All right. It's Proverbs 13:4. It says, the soul of the sluggard desireth and hath nothing, but the soul of the diligent shall be made fat. What do that mean? What do it mean that the soul of the diligent shall be made fat? Well, somebody that's diligent is somebody that doesn't give up. They're persistent. No matter what they do it with all their might. They put in effort. That's what somebody is that is diligent does. They put in effort. Well, they shall be made fat. What does it mean fat? Not like they're going to get big and sloppy, but they're going to, whatever they put their hand to is going to flourish. You ever heard? Now, I hate to keep bringing money, but I feel like when I talk to Israel, sometimes we got to speak this way, right? The brother Nathab Alam said made fat, meaning like you will see the rewards from the Most High. Khan, exactly, right? That's the perfect way to put it. Now, I'm using this analogy because like I say, when I talk to Israel, sometimes we just got to We got to do it this way. This is how we talk, right? But if anybody ever heard the term "my pocket's fat," well, your pockets don't get fat unless you put in work. All right. So if you diligent doing your job, you're gonna get money, and your pocket's gonna be fat. All right. But the biblical way, which is correct, true brother Nathab Alam said, "Made fat," meaning like you will see the rewards from the Most High, right? Because you'll be made fat. You'll be given anything that you want. All right. But then, of course, once again, it says, "The soul of the sluggard desireth." Why does it say that? Because if you're a sluggard, you're gonna want money. You're gonna want a better relationship. You're gonna want rank in the school. You're gonna want a higher position. But you're not gonna get it. You know why? Because you don't deserve it. You didn't work, so you didn't get any money. You didn't put work in the school, so you didn't get that rank raise that you wanted. You understand? You want a better relationship, but you wasn't willing to put in the work to better your relationship. You want to play the video game all day and never give your woman no goddamn attention. Well, she's going to become to hate you because you never give her no time, which is like the number one thing that most women want, right? Trooper Nathab Alam said he lazy and he wants all this stuff, but never put no work in to get it done. That's a sluggard that is going to want, right? And we have to understand that see, it's easy for us to get caught up in the pleasure of sleep, which we're going to talk about very shortly here. All right. The pleasure of sleep. It's just in relaxing. Everybody want to relax. Hey, listen, I love to relax. I love to kick back. All right. But also we have to be the type of people that when we kick back, our mind should start spinning about all of the things that we could be getting done. That's the type of people that we're supposed to be. That's the type of people that the Lord wants us to be. This ain't saying get your, your 6-7 hours of sleep a night so that way you can, you could try. You understand? Or try to be healthy. Sleep is important. You understand? Sleep is important. But what I'm saying is somebody that lays around all day being lazy and doing nothing, your mind should start working when you kicking back. Like, is there something that I could be doing right now that's of more importance than me just kicking back? Damn, I got to go print those flyers out. I should go do that. Damn, I got to go charge that speaker. I should go do that. That'll stop a lot of these speakers from dying. You understand? It's other things that I should be doing. Damn, I got to go do this. And so when your mind starts to work like that, you'll be busy all day fulfilling your needs and things that are necessary for you. Instead of at the end of the night, just feeling a dissatisfaction like, damn, I just kind of wasted the whole day. A lot of brothers and sisters be sitting up all day and it'd be 4 o'clock in the afternoon. That have been scrolling TikTok or Instagram all day. Maybe took a nap, made themselves a sandwich, watch something on the television for a minute, and they look up, it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon. They're like, damn, where did my day go? And then you know what they say? They start to wallow in it, and they say, well, it's 4 o'clock. Damn, where did my day go? Well, I guess I could just start again tomorrow, even though 4 o'clock in the day is still kind of early. You can get stuff done. You understand? And so we them type of people, we try to, we find excuses to be lazy instead of finding excuses not to be lazy. All right. Khan, Nathab Alam said, I'm learning this Hebrew as you teach this class so I can get through my officer's test, Lord Allah. Damn right. Find every minute. Listen, I know this is like a term that you hear in the church all the time, right? But it's true. Idle hands are the devil's playground. Because when you ain't got nothing to do, you stop. Or when you actually, I don't say when you ain't got nothing to do, right? But when you're not focused on something that you should be doing, you focused on something that you should not be doing. All right. And that's the problem. You can't allow your mind to shift that way. Bring it over here. You got this, and this to do. Stop putting it off. That's another problem we got. Procrastination. That's a piece of that laziness that we got as a people. That procrastination, trying to put something off. You know damn well you're not going to wake up earlier in the morning and get gas. You know you're not doing that. Get the gas on the way home. I know you want to go home and lay down and relax and watch television, but guess what? If you don't get this gas right now, you're not going to be able to get that gas in the morning. You're going to wake up at the same time and you're not going to risk being late and you're going to run out of gas on your way home from work. You understand? Because stop putting things off. You know that when you procrastinate, it's about things that you're probably not going to get done, but your mind tries to trick you into, I could probably get that done later. right? That's a lot of people fall into that. That's just another portion of laziness. All right. Let's go back, right? Let's go into the book of Colossians. I want to read something. Because remember, I was talking about that man being diligent, and he'll be made fat, right? You get what you want when you're diligent. All right, I'm just scrolling down, so locking. All right, I'm gonna add this to the stage. We're in Colossians 3:23. All right. Colossians 3:23 says, "And whatsoever ye do, do it heartily, as to the Lord, and not unto men, knowing that of the Lord you shall receive the reward of the inheritance, for ye serve the Lord Christ." I want y'all to understand something. I really want everybody to understand something about what was just read, right? Whatever you put your hand to do, do it heartily as unto the Lord and not unto men. We can take this wisdom and apply it to anything that you do, to anything. Now, this is, of course, we always apply this to the work of the Lord. All right. So when we fulfilling orders in the school as men to the men above us, and we fulfilling these orders for them. Hey, I need you to edit this video. I need you to go this place and do this. I need you to print out these flyers. Let's go on this flyer mission. Come to camp. Do this. Teach this class. We do it as unto the Lord and not as unto men. Even though the men are giving us these instructions, we do it as we're doing it for the Lord, right? But dig this. This same understanding can be applied to every aspect of your life. When you go to work, do your job like you're a representation of the Most High. Don't do your job like you just some bum. I understand these are slaveries. I understand we're not supposed to be in this condition. I understand that your boss is a a-hole. I understand all of that. But the scriptures say, let your light so shine before men. Don't put your lamp under the bed. Let your light shine. Be an example. And that can also be considered, whatsoever you do, do it heartily as unto the Lord, not as unto men. You're not working for that boss. I understand that that's your damn plantation owner. I understand all of that. But what I'm telling you is, let your light shine so that way you can bring glory unto the Most High. And no matter what these people try to tell you, they're going to have to look at you like, damn, there's something different about him. Why? Because you're doing it heartily. You're doing it with your might. You're being diligent. Because you're not doing it for that. You're doing it to glorify the Lord. And then it goes on to say, knowing that of the Lord you shall receive the reward of the inheritance. The Lord will bless you. So what I'm saying is that'll help you. If you take this mindset, it'll eliminate the spirit of laziness. All right? Because nobody likes somebody that's lazy. Nobody likes a lazy cat. Nobody. You understand? But remember, I was talking about sleep. We're going to get into that. I just wanted to read that because that's that diligent man whose soul will be made fat. That one that works heartily as unto the Most High and not unto men. So what we're going to do now, we're going to go and we're going to talk about this sleep, right? We're going to talk about this sleep. This sleep and this rest that so many people want so much of. You want 13 hours of sleep a day. You want to rest. So lock here. All right. So let's go to Proverbs 6 and verse 9. I'm going to start at Proverbs 6 and verse 9. Proverbs 6 and 9 said, and let me see if I can zoom in just a little bit. This thing's so damn touchy. Y'all see that? Okay, hold on. No, that's too much. Hold on. Just leave it like that. So lock in. All right, so Proverbs 6 and 9. It says, how long wilt thou sleep, O sluggard? When wilt thou arise out of thy sleep? Verse 10 says, yet a little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands to sleep. So shall thy poverty come as one that traveleth, and thy want as an armed man. See, that's what sleep is going to get you. That sleep and that relaxation that you want so much of, that sleep is going to get you destruction and poverty. Ooh, 5 more minutes on that snooze alarm. You just want a little bit more sleep, and that's proven not to work. We all know that. Now you late to your job. Now your job going to fire you. You the cat that's always late every day. You late because you want that 10 extra minutes of sleep in the morning. Now you have a reputation, not as being a holy man of the Lord, but being as the nigga that's late all the goddamn time. And then you're going to talk to people on your job about coming into the truth, and they'll be like, you can't even show up to work on time. Huh? You understand? That'll be your reputation. Your poverty going to come as one to travel, and your want as an armed man. I was just talking earlier about how you sleep the day away. You wake up, it's 11 o'clock in the morning, 12 noon, 1 o'clock, something like that. You get up, you start scrolling, TikTok, Instagram, fix yourself something to eat. 3 o'clock come along. Damn, I want to hop on the game. Let me hop on Madden. I'm on Madden for 2 hours. It's 5 o'clock. They gone. You can't do nothing. You can't do nothing. The trooper Nathaba alone said that 10 minutes turns into an hour real quick. Hell yeah. That 10 minutes, you snooze. I mean, listen, man. I can't. Listen. I am not going to tell. I'm not going to sit up here and I'm not going to lie to y'all and tell y'all I haven't fallen victim to that. Understand me? When I speak as a man, you understand? I'm cutting myself on half of these scriptures. I want y'all to understand that. I've been there. I have been that guy. All right. So I understand all of these things. That's why I have the wisdom, not only because the Bible gives it to me, but I've been there. I understand all of these things. Right. But what's even more important is understanding that you really shouldn't be that way. And that's heavy that you said that, because that's true, man. That's true. 10 minutes will turn into an hour real quick. And that's how your day will go by. You understand? Your 10 minutes doing this, that, or the third. Your 10 minutes scrolling could turn into an hour or 2 or 3. Just like that, hitting that snooze button. All right. And you got things to do. And see, anybody that claims to be serving the Most High, you always got something to do. It's always something to do. It's always something more important than being on Facebook or Twitter or playing that video game, doing whatever the hell else that you're doing. It's always something more important when we're in the truth and trying to serve the Most High. Even for sisters. Sisters should never be bored. They should be concocting a meal plan for what they're going to bring to the Sabbath service and for camp. Learning a skill. How can I got to learn how to sew. I got to take these classes. I got to get with this other sister. She know how to sew. Maybe she could teach me. If you don't know how to cook, learn how to cook. It's a million things that you could do. It's a million things that you could do. All right. Versus just sitting down and doing nothing. All right. So yeah, that sleep will get you, man. Yet a little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands to sleep. Y'all just love. I'm saying y'all, but this be affecting everybody. It affect me too. Just love to kick back and relax. Everybody loves relaxation, but it's something that you got to fight. You got to love to work more. Because the more sleep that you desire, the more relaxation that you desire, so is your poverty going to be coming as somebody that traveleth, and your want is going to come in as an armed man. You're going to be wanting. And none of us want to be like that. All right. But let's get back to it. Let's go to Proverbs, the 24th chapter. Let's go to Proverbs, the 24th chapter. A saying that we got in here, the truth, the UPK is, what's sleep? We'll sleep when we get the kingdom. You understand? Because it's too much work to be done. Ask Captain Yatazak. Ask Captain Kahan Thamyad. Ask Captain Tazaryak. Ask all of the mighty ministers in the truth. All right. They'll say the same thing to you. Don't ever get around them complaining about how tired you are. All right. But let's go ahead and get into it, right? So Proverbs, the 24th chapter. And let's start off at the 30th verse. So lock in. So let's go to Proverbs 24 and 30. It says, I went by the field of the slothful and by the vineyard of the man void of understanding. And lo, it was all grown over with thorns, and nettles had covered the face thereof. And the stone wall thereof was broken down. Then I saw and considered it well. I looked upon it and received instruction. Yet a little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands to sleep, so shall thy poverty come as one that traveleth, and thy want as an armed man. Now, we just read this. We just read this in a totally different place, right? But Solomon is explaining to you how he came to come up with this proverb. Solomon is explaining to you what made him write down the proverb that we just read. And this is why he wrote that proverb. He said, I went by the field of the slothful. He went by some sluggard's land. And he went by the vineyard of the man void of understanding. This man don't have no understanding. He's lazy and he's stupid. And lo, it was grown all over with thorns, and nettles had covered the face thereof. Right? And that all that means is instead of there being crops, all right, and flourishing vegetables and fruits and things like that should be there, it's full of thorns and weeds. Nothing grows there but weeds and destruction, right? And then it goes on to say, and the stone wall thereof was broken down, meaning even the protection around this man's house was broken down, and he was too lazy to get up and fix it. And so he said, this is Solomon speaking. He said, and then I saw and I considered it well. I looked upon it, and he received instruction. He understood that a little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands to sleep, so shall thy poverty come as one that traveleth, and thy want as an armed man. He valued sleep. Whoever this man is, that the owner of this field that's destroyed, and there's no fruit coming from it. Solomon understood that that man loved sleep too much, so much so that his destruction came, his poverty came, and now he's wanting, but it's too late. He's destroyed his land. It take years to make that land fertile again, because that's the same man that we read about in the beginning of this class, that it's too cold to go outside and plow the field. Now he got mice running up and down the field, eating all of the crops in the first couple of weeks. Next couple of weeks, the rest of the crops is dying. That land not getting tilled. You're not folding that dirt in, right? So now that dirt is becoming useless. You won't be able to plant nothing in it. A couple of months go by, it's not even salvageable. It'll take years to get that soil back to where it needs to be. And then he's going to be wanting. He's going to be wishing, damn, I wish I'd have got up. Let me run to the neighbor's farm. Let me see if they got something that I could borrow. Well, that's you as a lazy man. And the Lord put this in here so that way you can understand how not to be that way. This is preventative measures for how you cannot end up like that man that Solomon saw and wrote this proverb about. Don't become a proverb in the Bible. That's the last thing that you want to do, because that means that you failed. You become this proverb, you failed. All right, let's read. I got a couple more places to go. This class ain't gonna be too long, but I do want to drill it in your head. I mean, this is, it's scriptures like this all throughout the Bible, talking about sluggards, talking about the slothfulness of men. But it's pretty clear cut. Let me see something. Hold on. I'm gonna go to 1 Corinthians. All right. So we're going to read 1 Corinthians chapter 9. We're going to start at verse 24. It says, know ye not that they which run in a race run all, but one receiveth the prize. So run that ye may obtain. All right, this is actually very important to understand about this scripture, right? It says, because everybody's running a race. Understand that. Everybody's running a race. In this context, what we're talking about is just the race of life, right? Everybody's in the race, but only one receives the prize. So run that ye may obtain. Run with a purpose, because there is a prize that you get out of this. You could be very successful in life, or you could fail at life. It's one of the two. There's not really a in between. You're either successful at life or you fail. Now, is it hard to succeed? Absolutely. Running any race is hard. And this is a marathon. We're not talking about running a sprint. You know, you run a 50-meter sprint. You're not even gassed after 50 meters. You're good. You can run another 50. Right? But but running that race, that marathon, you're going to go through a lot of times where you're going to get gassed and you're going to have to keep going. But see, other people are going to get gassed and they're going to stop and they're going to take a break. And they're going to take a long break. They're going to take a long, long break. And they're going to take so long of a break that they're going to try to get, they're going to try to recuperate. They done gassed themselves, so now they're going to sit down. They're going to drink some water. And they're going to wait till they feel 100% better to get up and run. Meanwhile, the people that push through are leagues ahead of them. Because they wanted that break. They wanted that rest. Everybody wants to rest. Y'all got to understand that. Everybody wants to rest. But there are certain types of people that desire the rest, but not as much as they desire to win. And those are the people who succeed in life. The people that desire to win the race more than they desire to rest from their pain, those are the people that succeed and cross that finish line first. And that's what we're dealing with life. That's how life operates. And the sluggard, he's going to sit down and he's going to take a 30-minute break because he got them cramps in his side, his leg cramped up. He need to drink some more water. He got to get back to 100% before he can start jogging again. That's that sluggard. Little do he know that cost him the race. You understand? But that diligent man, that runs the race heartily as unto the Lord, not just for the race, but for the Lord. That diligent man, he's going to run through all the aches and pains. He'll grab him some water. He need the water. You can't run a damn marathon without the water. He's going to grab the water, but he's not going to stop and drink it. He's going to run and drink that water, throw that water bottle, and keep it pushing. And he'll run through the cramps. Them cramps will get, it's going to hurt for a little bit, but you can run through them cramps. And that's the diligent man. He'll run through the cramps. And he'll get to the finish line faster than the man that was slothful and try to take the breaks and try to rest and relax. Because guess what? That diligent man, he's going to cross that finish line. And guess what? Then he'll rest. Then he gets a rest. And that's why I said we got a saying in here. We don't rest until the kingdom comes. And when you live like that, you strive for those masteries and you obtain a incorruptible crown, a crown that only the Most High can give you because you passed that finish line before everybody else did. Everybody else, you left them in the dust, and now you get to finally rest. So that's the truth. Trooper Nathabai Lum says, this is Hebrews 6:11-12. It says, and we desire that every one of you do show the same diligence to the full assurance of hope unto the end, that ye be not slothful, but followers of them who through faith and patience inherit the promises. Absolutely. Excellent precept. All right. Excellent precept. You got to show that diligence to the full assurance of hope unto the end. Ain't no stopping and taking breaks. You got to push. You have to push. There's a lot of other analogies that I could make with this. You understand? 1 Corinthians 10:12, it says, wherefore let him that thinketh he standeth take heed lest he fall. Absolutely. That cat that stopped and took the break, he like, oh yeah, I'm gonna take this break. I'm gonna get rejuvenated. Then I'm gonna run it 100% and I'll be able to get to that fit. Nope, you're too late. Because somebody else that's steady running that race ahead of you. Excellent precepts. I definitely appreciate those. Those are wise and excellent precepts to go right along with this topic. And so that's going to be really it for this class. I just wanted to make sure that I taught this class. It's been heavy on my mind. It's just a good reminder. It's a good reminder that, slothfulness will not get you across that finish line. All right. And so we have to remain diligent. Like the scriptures say in the book of 2nd Esdras, right, that life is war. All right. Everybody that's born upon the face of this earth has been invited into this battle, has been put into this battle. Whether they like it or not, they in this battle. So life is a war, but some are going to lose. They're going to fall to that war. But there are others that will not allow themselves to fall. And that's the type of brothers and sisters, because y'all in this war too, this war of life. Life is a battle for y'all too. So there's certain brothers and sisters that are not going to allow life to beat them up and to abuse them. And that takes diligence. That takes you doing everything as heartily and as unto the Lord and not as unto men. All right. Proverbs 19:15, slothfulness casteth into a deep sleep, and an idle soul shall suffer hunger. All right. That is an excellent precept. Like I said earlier, right? These scriptures are all throughout the Bible that talk about slothfulness. The Lord does not admire a slothful man. He detests a slothful man. All right. And so that's why, of course, in here we strive to please the Most High. And that diligence, right, and that work and that perseverance, that's what pleases the Most High. That's why the scriptures say that it's not of faith only, but also of works, right? Faith without works is dead. And so the Lord is telling us continually, time and time again, that work is what gets you that kingdom, that gets you that crown. All right. With that being said, we're going to go ahead and close out. I definitely appreciate brothers and sisters for tuning in. We're going to be right back over here tomorrow. Of course, make sure y'all also tune in for our Sabbath service. We got a heavy Sabbath service. If y'all haven't been tuning in over the past few weeks, we started off with the book of Genesis, and we just zooming right through. I'm going to read the entire Old Testament. And I don't want to say zooming, right, because we're breaking everything down. But what I mean is we're going to, if you watch these classes, these Sabbath services, over a specific span of time, you'll be able to read the entire Old Testament, which is something that a lot of people can't say they've done. A lot of people claim to believe in the Bible, but they haven't read it, not in its entirety. So you'll get a majority of that battle done just sitting in Saturday classes and reading all of the Old Testament with us, and you'll get a breakdown of everything. We'll break down the entire Old Testament, right? We started, I believe, we're getting towards the middle of Genesis now. All right, but yeah, we getting through it. All right. So make sure y'all are tuning into those. Once again, we got classes Tuesdays through Friday from 7 to 9 p.m. and our Sabbath services at 11 a.m. Make sure y'all tuning in. Our class out here in Phoenix, Arizona is at 12416 North 28th Drive, Phoenix, Arizona. And we're in suite number 4. Once again, y'all, Thawada for tuning in. I appreciate y'all. Shalom.